There comes a time in everyone's life when you realize that not everyone will see your vision. Not everyone will clap when you win. And not everyone will stand beside you when things get tough. That's the truth. But that truth can either break you or make you unstoppable. Today, we're diving deep into a mindset that separates dreamers from achievers. Don't expect support from everyone. When you hold a dream in your heart, it's a spark that no one else can see the way you do. That spark was given to you for a reason. It's your responsibility, your calling, your purpose. Yet so many people waste years of their lives waiting for others to understand it, waiting for support, waiting for validation that never comes. They tell themselves, once my family believes in me, I'll start. Or once my friends support my idea, I'll take action. But the truth is, that day might never come. The world doesn't always recognize potential before it becomes visible. People don't believe in the unseen, they believe in the proven. And that means you can't expect anyone to see your vision before it manifests in reality. The moment you stop expecting everyone to support you is the moment you start freeing yourself. You take back your power. Because when you expect support, you put control of your destiny into other people's hands. You wait for their approval to take your next step. But when you realize that no one owes you their belief, that no one is required to understand your journey, you become unstoppable. You stop asking for permission to grow. You stop needing applause to take action. You stop waiting for someone to cheer you on, and instead, you become your own biggest supporter. Think about it. Most of the people around you can only see the version of you that you've already been. They see your past, not your potential. They remember your failures, not your fire. So when you tell them about your dream, they respond through the filter of what they know about you, not through the possibility of who you can become. That's why some people doubt you. It's not about you, it's about their limited vision. They can't see through your eyes. They can't feel the hunger burning inside you. They can't hear the whispers of destiny calling you to rise higher. You were given your vision for a reason. It wasn't a conference call, it wasn't a group discussion. It was a one-on-one message meant only for you. That's why expecting others to fully understand it is unrealistic. It's like showing someone a painting that only exists in your mind and then getting upset when they don't see it clearly. The only way they'll ever understand is when you bring that vision to life. Until then, you must hold that belief so fiercely that even if the entire world goes silent, your faith roars louder than doubt. When you start moving without waiting for support, something incredible happens. You build inner strength. You become self-reliant. You begin to trust yourself. Every time you take a step forward alone, you prove to yourself that you're capable. You don't need to be carried. You just need to keep climbing. And the higher you go, the clearer your vision becomes. The clearer your vision, the stronger your belief. The stronger your belief, the less you need others to believe with you. You will face moments when people you love don't understand. They might question your decisions. They might tell you to play it safe. They might even think you've lost your mind. Don't take it personally. Their fear isn't yours to carry. They speak from their own limits, not yours. You can love them and still choose your path. You can listen to them and still follow your intuition. You can respect their opinions and still chase your dream relentlessly. Your journey is not about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. The fire that lives inside you is not there to make everyone comfortable. It's there to lead you somewhere extraordinary. Some people won't join you, and that's okay. Some won't cheer for you, and that's okay too. Because one day, when they see what you've built, they'll understand what you were fighting for all along. So don't expect support from everyone. Expect resistance. Expect silence. Expect misunderstanding, and use it all as fuel. Every no you hear, every doubt you face, every door that closes, that's life's way of asking, how bad do you want it? Let your answer be your action. Keep showing up. Keep pushing forward. Keep believing when no one else does. Because that's where the real transformation happens. In those moments when it's just you, your dream, and your determination to never give up. You don't need the world's permission to succeed. You don't need their validation to take the next step. All you need is that unshakable faith that whispers, I was made for more. And when you live with that belief, when you trust your own vision more than anyone's opinion, you'll realize you were never waiting for support. You were waiting for yourself. And once you finally show up fully, the world will have no choice but to see what you've known all along. There's a moment in every person's journey when silence becomes your only company. You look around and realize that the people you thought would walk with you have stopped showing up. The calls stop coming, the messages slow down, and suddenly, you find yourself standing alone on a road that once felt crowded. That's the moment most people quit. Not because they lack strength, but because they confuse solitude with abandonment. But the truth is, being alone is not a punishment. It's preparation. It's where you learn who you are without the noise, the opinions, the distractions, and the comfort of others. It's where you meet the version of yourself that's built for greatness. When you stop expecting support, you start building your own backbone. You begin to discover the power of isolation. Because in that space of quiet, something incredible happens. You grow. You stop waiting for others to validate your path and start trusting your own steps. You begin to hear your own thoughts clearly, to feel your intuition guiding you, to understand your purpose with a depth that can't exist when you're surrounded by constant input from others. That's where strength is born, in the stillness where it's just you and your vision. Most people are afraid of being alone because they think loneliness is a sign of failure. They believe that if no one is cheering for them, then maybe they're not doing something right. But that's not true. The reality is, every person who has ever built something extraordinary has faced a period where it was just them and the mission. Solitude isn't a weakness, it's the forge where character, discipline, and focus are created. It's the silent training ground for warriors of purpose. When you walk alone, you begin to see the difference between needing people and appreciating them. You no longer depend on someone else's words to motivate you. You learn to create your own fire. You stop seeking comfort from others and start building it from within. That shift changes everything. Because when your strength no longer depends on external sources, you become untouchable. The criticism doesn't break you, the silence doesn't bother you, and the rejection doesn't stop you. You start moving through life with quiet confidence, knowing that no matter who stays or leaves, you will keep going. Solitude teaches you discipline. It teaches you how to keep promises to yourself when no one is watching. It teaches you how to show up for your dreams without the need for applause. That's the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. The achievers work when the world is asleep. They push forward when no one notices. They don't need constant reassurance because they've learned that progress doesn't always come with witnesses. In the silence of isolation, you start to separate your real desires from your temporary emotions. You realize what truly matters. You see how much time you used to waste trying to please others or fit into their expectations. You stop chasing approval and start chasing alignment. You stop trying to be understood and start trying to be fulfilled. And in doing that, you become stronger, sharper, and more focused than ever before. The journey of isolation isn't easy. There will be nights when you question everything, when your mind screams at you to give up, when you wonder if all this sacrifice is worth it. But those moments are where transformation happens. That discomfort is proof that you're growing beyond who you used to be. You're shedding the version of yourself that needed company to feel complete. You're evolving into someone who carries their own light even in darkness. And here's the magic. When you learn to thrive in solitude, you attract stronger connections later. You stop settling for people who drain your energy because you've already learned to survive without them. You no longer chase support, you attract alignment. The people who eventually come into your life are not there out of convenience, but out of shared purpose. They're not there to hold you up, but to walk beside you, equally strong, equally grounded. So if you're in a season where you feel alone, don't fight it, embrace it. It's not a setback, it's an initiation. You're being molded, refined, and prepared for something greater. Use this time to build yourself so solidly that even when no one is watching, your foundation stands unshaken. Because once you've mastered the art of standing alone, you'll never again fear walking alone. And that's the kind of strength that changes everything. You'll look back one day and realize that those quiet, lonely nights were not empty. They were sacred. They were the moments that turned you into the person capable of carrying the dream that others couldn't see. Isolation didn't break you, it built you. And when you step into the light again, you'll no longer be searching for support. Because you'll know the truth, you are your own support, your own strength, and your own source of power. You don't prove people wrong by arguing, explaining, or convincing. You prove them wrong by executing. The world doesn't respond to what you say. It responds to what you do, what you build, what you become. When you stop expecting support and start showing results, everything changes. Action speaks a language that disbelief can't argue with. People can doubt your words, but they can't deny your outcomes. That's the ultimate power, turning your silence into success and your consistency into proof. So many people waste their energy trying to make others understand their vision. They explain their plans, their goals, their ideas, hoping to win belief from people who aren't meant to understand yet. But belief doesn't come from explanation. It comes from evidence. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your dream. You owe yourself the effort to make it real. Talking about your dream can feel good for a while, but talking doesn't create transformation. Execution does. Every minute you spend trying to convince someone to believe in you is a minute stolen from building the version of yourself that will make them believe naturally. The truth is, no one remembers the words you said when you started. They remember the results you created when you finished. People may not support your vision in the beginning because they can't see what you see. That's not your fault. It's their limitation. But the moment you turn your dream into reality through relentless action, they'll have no choice but to see it. They'll call it luck. They'll call it timing. They'll call it fate. But you'll know it was none of those things. It was discipline, persistence, and a refusal to quit when no one believed. When you focus on proving through action, you redirect your energy from frustration to productivity. You stop caring who's watching and start caring about what you're creating. You start to understand that your job isn't to make others believe. It's to become undeniable. You no longer wait for the right circumstances, the perfect opportunity, or external validation. You realize that every step forward, every small win, every ounce of progress is building something that speaks louder than any words could. There's a shift that happens when you start letting your results talk. You move differently. You become calmer, more focused, less reactive. You stop explaining your moves because you know time will tell your story better than your mouth ever could. You let your growth be your response. You let your improvement be your message. And when the results begin to show, those who doubted will fall silent. Not because you shamed them, but because you showed them. That's what real power looks like. But this level of action requires patience and resilience. Results don't come overnight, and that's where most people give up. They want instant recognition, quick validation, fast applause. But real success demands consistency over time. You have to be willing to show up again and again, even when no one notices, even when no one cares, even when progress feels invisible. That's when your commitment is tested. That's when your belief is refined. Because when you learn to stay consistent without support, you become unstoppable with it. The day will come when your results begin to speak so loudly that you won't have to defend yourself anymore. Your success will make the noise for you. And when that day arrives, you won't feel bitterness toward those who didn't believe. You'll feel gratitude, because their doubt became your drive. Their silence became your focus. Their lack of support became the space where you learn to rely on yourself completely. Every seed grows in silence before it becomes visible to the world, and so do you. So stop wasting your energy trying to prove your worth through words. Put that energy into work. Build something real. Create something that outlives opinions. Let your actions become your voice and your consistency become your reputation. Because people might ignore what you say, but they can't ignore what you've built. Remember, the world doesn't reward intentions, it rewards execution. You can have all the dreams, plans, and passion in the world, but if you don't take action, it means nothing. Execution is where dreams become visible, and visibility is where belief is born. So keep moving, keep working, keep creating even when no one sees you, because eventually they will. And when that moment comes, when your results stand tall and your effort shines brighter than their doubt, you'll realize you never needed support to begin with. You just needed to stay disciplined enough to turn your vision into proof. You'll look back and see that every late night, every quiet effort, every small step added up to something bigger than words could ever describe. You didn't need to convince anyone. You just needed to keep showing up until your success became impossible to ignore. That's how you win. Not through explanation, but through execution.